Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here, I hope you're keeping well and welcome back to another video from CJ's Den. Yes, that's right, I'm back up in the den doing videos now. An update on my knee is basically I'm getting there slowly. I saw my doctor again yesterday and basically now I've got to have some physiotherapy and so forth, and hopefully I'll be on the mend, to a full recovery. So that's good. Okay. Last night I got a shock. For the past few months, I've been doing thank you videos to everybody, to all my subscribers, and I just never expected my YouTube channel to be as successful as it is. It started out as just a standard bit of fun, hobby, many years ago now, and I was inspired to start doing collection videos after being inspired by other Elvis collectors who were on YouTube that show their collection and speak about them. And as an Elvis fan and collector myself, that's how I basically started this channel. So last night I clicked onto YouTube and went into my YouTube studio first to check everything. Found out that I had over 5k subscribers. I was shocked, and I thought, because it was early hours in the morning, I thought that I was half asleep, so I wiped my eyes and just double looked, and yeah, and I thought, wow, I would just like to say a mega thank you to all of you that have subscribed, to everybody who have tuned into the videos, to everybody who have shared, to everybody who have commented, to everybody who have also sent me emails. I just truly cannot thank you enough. I really don't know what to say apart from thank you all so much. It's very overwhelming, and last night I couldn't wait to get up, sort things out, and get doing this video for you guys, because I love you all so much. You are all amazing. Really didn't intend for this channel to go anywhere near this point, but I'm really proud that it has, and I really can't thank you enough. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating that, I'm just so overwhelmed, and now I'm going to begin a review, otherwise you're going to think, man, he's talking too much, let's get him off the screen, boy. First of all, I'd like to answer a couple of questions that I've been asked, and I think I have answered these in other videos, but I still keep on getting asked this question, that I'm so bubbly doing my videos. Well, do you know what? There's so much negativity in the world and so much stuff going on. I think that we need to be a little bit more upbeat. We had a terrible year last year, 2020, with the pandemic, and we're still going through the pandemic now all over the world, not just in the UK, not just in Europe and the US. It's all over the world, and I think we've got to try and keep upbeat as best as possible, because when we turn on the news, as well, I'm hearing is negative stuff. So, sometimes it's nice to forget about the negative. We know it's there, we know it's happening, but what are we going to do? Are we going to leave that dominate our lives, or are we going to fight? Are we going to stick together, help each other? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm sure as hell going to keep things up. So that's why I'm always bouncy and bubbly. Alright. The other question is, why do I not do regular videos every week? Well, like everyone in the world, we all have busy lives, and I try to do the best I can. And I think my videos are, I would like to say a little bit often, but I'm not sure. I think it's maybe often but little, I guess. I will also as well, I will be uploading some other Elvis programs and footage and different things It's just over time. I like to think that my videos are far and few between, and are far few between apart, that when there is a video, there's something for the subscribers and the fans to enjoy and look forward to, that there will be something, you know. Okay, now I've spoken, so I'm going to stop there and I'm going to speak about this particular DVD that the video is going to be all about. Yeah, it's a double video. It's a thank you message to everybody and a review video. Okay, now I've spoke about this before, and something that I discovered, and I thought I gotta get this, and that is Elvis, That's the Way It Is. Now I know last year, no, the year before last, I did. No, yeah, it was last year. 71 this year. Yeah, last year I did the review video on Elvis, That's the Way It Is for the 50th anniversary. And I showed all the releases, we spoke about it, I spoke about why I love it and everything. So anyway, this is going to be, you know, a quick little review. Going back to the original 1970s theatrical version of That's the Way It Is. We're not going to talk about the special edition, just the theatrical version for a minute, and its releases. Now, the theatrical version was first released and it came out in a snap case, which... for those of you who don't know, is like this. This is a snap case, and I don't like them, even though that's lower from Hawaii. That's what the snap cases are. I know in various countries around the world, somebody call them some places call them cardboard cases and different things. So I call them snap cases. So, and I don't like them. I really hate them. And if I could replace them, I would. But with some releases like that one, it is what it is, isn't it? Now, That's the Way It Is theatrical release. When it first got released, it came out in a cover like that. The back cover was different. Than when it got released a year later. It was very short-lived. It was a double-sided DVD. The one side contained the full screen version, the other side contained the widescreen version. And it was very short-lived, and then it got redone. The exact same, they didn't change no features about it, no menu and features, nothing like that. The only thing they did was, which was the following year, they brought it out like this, in normal DVD case, standard DVD case, and they changed the back cover. Now, when it first got released in a snap case, it got released, well, I'll come to that in a minute. So this is how it got put out then. It was high in demand, and again though, this was very short-lived too, and this one and the snap case version have kind of become a bit of a collector's item now. So that's my DVD, and I did show in my other video that even though that's like that, this is a backup copy of the original DVD. In fact, for those of you who've seen my DVD videos, my videos on my Elvis DVDs, you know that I keep all my original DVDs in here, and the discs that are in the cases on the shelf are backup copies of these, but I do own. And the reason why they're in here is because I keep them protected and I look after them, because I don't want to take any risk of them getting damaged whatsoever. There's an old saying, if you look after your things will look after you. And that is true. Here's the original disc. This is how it came out when it came out originally in the snap case. When it was brought out a year later. By the way, the first release on DVD of the original theatrical version was in 1997 on DVD, and it was only released in the US, and it was discontinued that year as well, the same year it came out, and it was reissued in 1998, a year later. The exact same thing, disc exactly the same, double-sided. They just changed and put it in a normal standard case, and they changed the back cover. Alright, So just I'll tell you about the year of releases. So yeah, this one here is the standard. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's in blue right there where it says standard. I don't know if that's coming out really well. And then on the flip side, you've got the widescreen, which is in a red kind of colour. And I am sorry about any of the reflections, and I'm sorry about the reflections and the glaze on what I'm showing you. But yeah, basically all my original DVDs are in here. Now there is a few that I haven't put in the pouch yet, which will be in a second pouch. I've got quite a few of these ones full with Elvis DVDs because all my originals are stored away. So as you can probably gather, there was a lot of backup copying I had to do. So anyway, so yeah, that's my backup copy. And when I did a backup copy, obviously I didn't do the double-sided. I did, for my personal collection on the shelf, the full screen version, which took me back all the way to when I was a kid, when I first watched it on VHS. Now this is something that came with the DVD. The information about it there. Okay. Now, remastered wise, yes, it was remastered to the point where it was mainly done like a digital transfer. So it was the best that you could get at the time. And this version as well, like I said, it was short-lived, along with the first initial release in 1997. And then, you know, it's become over the years a bit of a collector's item. Something that also took place also in 1997, when the first original issue got released in the US. Because remember, this got released a year later in 1998. The dates are on the back. But in Japan, they also released That's the Way It Is on DVD. The original theatrical version. Also in 1997. That's the release, the Japan release. Now, as a collector, you try to get all the versions that you can. Me, as a collector, I am a very, very, very fussy person. Now, I only recently got this. It was a really good price. And this one, as you can see, there's writing on there. This is one-sided. And it's the widescreen version. It's a region 2 as well, not a region 1. Everything is in English. The talking, the music, the font on the screen, everything is in English. There is an option, however, if you go into the settings, to put it into Japanese. And there's a reason why I wanted this. I had heard, and I'd seen pictures, I'd heard a lot about the quality on this one being slightly better than the double-sided US releases. And this, again, is quite collectible now. I didn't pay all that much for it, mind, I'll be honest with you. I paid what I could afford. And I must be honest, I am more inclined, when I watched the 1970 theatrical version, to watch this version than I am to watch that. I think the colour on this version is a little bit more vibrant, it stands out better. It's a little bit more sharper. Sound is a tad better as well. Maybe it's because this is a one-sided disc and this is a double-sided disc. Who knows? But basically, I think it's just a little better. And this version, like I said, it was released in 1997 in Japan, when it was first released in the US. It was just after the US release in 1997. But again, this had become very, very short-lived. So if you ever see this version available, I highly recommend it. In fact, the back cover here, when I said they reissued it in 1998, they changed the back. Well, this is how the first initial US version got released, with the cover in this format. Okay, the font on the back is in Japanese, but that's nothing to me. It's part of what it is, because that's the way it is. Pardon the pun. But yeah, I was very overjoyed when I got this. I didn't know what to expect, though. When you hear things online and you see pictures and you get like online forums and they say that, something's better than something else, I think the only way you're really going to find out for yourself is if you buy it yourself and watch it or listen to it. There are a few people, though, however, that I do take literally their word for it, because I trust them and I know that they're big collectors, such as myself. Now, as collectors, we all have different opinions, but my opinion on this is the exact same opinion that I've heard everywhere else online, that this is a little bit more crisper. The sound is more crisp, the picture quality is more crisp. You can tell, however, that it is still, taken from the original reel. That's the way it is. And to think about it, they kind of, in the early stages of DVDs as well, at that point. Excuse me. I mean, it wasn't until 2010 that the UK got a release officially of the theatrical version of That's the Way It Is. Because when they did the special edition, that's all you could get over here. Unless, however, you had a bootleg which was transferred from VHS to DVD. I remember looking everywhere for this. I paid quite a bit of money for this too back at the time. And it was, like I said, it was quite expensive. But it was worth it because I really love That's the Way It Is. It takes me back to my childhood. If I could choose out of the special edition and the theatrical version, sometimes I just say it's a no-brainer, the original version. But then again, I'm not putting down the special edition either. Both are equal, in my opinion, and both have their pros and cons. And that's just, I think, the same way about a lot of things in life. But yeah, because this takes me back to my childhood, this will always be one of my, versions that will remain close to my heart. It's just, I don't know what it is. I mean, there's an interview part on this, right, when there's a woman that says, I don't know what it is, but when he walks on this, he's so dynamic. And I can kind of say the same thing. I don't really know what it is about this version, but I just can't stop watching it. I love it. And, it's not my favorite era of Elvis, because I love everything he did. I don't have a favorite era. I don't even have a favorite song. And even though I say my favorite movies tickle me, there's reasons for that. But yet, I don't know whether this is becoming my second favorite. I don't know. But bottom line is, all of Elvis's movies and concerts are my favorites. So I don't even know if I can even pick a favorite film. The more I think about it, one minute I can say, yes, this is my favorite movie. The next minute I can't. So who knows? I think they're all my favorite. Elvis is Elvis at the end of the day. And that's the way it is. And that's the way it's always going to stay. So yeah, opinions on this. If you can get hold of this, please pick up a copy. Because it is, for me, I think it's fantastic. I'm gonna try to look into it more to find out more details about it, because I couldn't find much online. And one of the reasons why I like it is the fact that I don't like double feature, or I don't like double-sided DVDs. And if I take a look at my original DVD of the special edition, that's one-sided, it's silver, you can read the writing on there. And it's the same with this too. You can read the writing on there. Obviously this comes with it. This is obviously like telling you the chapters and stuff. Is it worth paying a lot of money for this? Okay, a lot of people think that things are worth it a lot more than what they put up, a lot more than they think, because they're rare. Okay, now in 2010, okay, this was short-lived in 1997 when it came out, same with the US. This was short-lived in 1998 after it got discontinued. It didn't see a release then until 2010. Even though I'm guessing that if you live in the US, you can probably get it easy at, your local stores or whatever, and there was a certain amount stocked. Who knows? Maybe the same thing in China with this. Who knows? But it's become they both become collector's items. Now in 2010, here in the UK and worldwide, the theatrical version got another reissue. Debut release on DVD in the UK. I'm not sure about any other countries, but in the UK, the theatrical version got its debut release with the special edition included. And it was a double DVD set. I did have that. I don't have it anymore. It also got reissued in the... where is it? In the Sony Legacy box set as well, that came out in 2014. You've got DVD 1, the 2001 special edition, then DVD 2, the theatrical version. I don't get that. That's the one thing I didn't get. And it's the same that when it got reissued in... when it came out in 2010 for the first time. Why on earth was DVD 1, the special edition, and DVD 2, the theatrical version? And it's the same with this one here, because it got released on Blu-ray as well. Disc 1, 2001 special edition, and this is a Blu-ray. But the second one is actually a DVD, not Blu-ray. Disc 2, 1970 theatrical version. Why? The theatrical version was made before the special edition, so technically I think it should have been the other way around, but that's obviously the way the companies have done them. So, remastered 2001 special edition on Blu-ray for the first time. Okay, so that's on the sticker. But personally myself, even though it's widescreen, they did do some remastering work to the theatrical version, but there was a little glitch with the DVD release in 2010 that I found, and the same with the box set, the big one that I just showed you. Where Elvis Goes to Sing Love Me Tender, they focused the camera on a little girl in the audience with a yellow dress, and there's a slight pause, only about a second or two, but there's what should I say, about a second, there's a slight pause in the footage before it flicks on. Now I watched the Blu-ray edition, or should I say the DVD that's with the Blu-ray edition, not so long ago, and I was quite surprised because it didn't tend to happen in it, but I thought it did. Convinced it did, but there we go. You'll not notice unless you're somebody like myself who is a very big collector and somebody who pays great attention when you're watching something. So yeah, that's that. And even though they did some remastering to it, I personally think that when they brought this out in the UK in 2010, and you know, obviously I'm talking about the theatrical version here now, when they debuted the theatrical version released in the UK for the first time. Yeah, they did, like I said, they did some remastering work on it, but I think they did a little bit too much. It's quite dark in places. Like when you're watching this version, and the same with this version, you can tell where his hair is and everything. You can still see the outline with the background not blended in. But with this version and the other versions that they released in the UK from 2010 onwards, I think they just did a tad too much changes to the background color and the lighting and stuff. Now, when I first bought it and I watched it, the first thing I did afterwards, I watched it on the system upstairs. I tried fiddling about with the settings on my TV and DVD player, and nothing made a difference. So I just think that the UK release, the debut, and all the releases that came out in the UK since, and also, okay, then should we just call it the reissue then, okay? Because I'm saying about the UK, but it's going to be the same for, all over. I just think a little bit too much remastering was done on it, and I don't enjoy watching. I don't enjoy watching the remastered version as I do when I watch this version, because it is remastered in both picture and sound. I just think they overdid it a bit when they reissued it from 2010. And I know that I'm not the only one as well who thinks that. There's a few other collectors that I've spoken with that think the same thing when they compare the two together. So yeah, if you do come across this, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I'm gonna love you and leave you there. And again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's only a small little briefing on these, and I may have repeated myself in different ways a few times, and I apologise about that. I just what I found recently is that some people have been asking me questions and I've answered it, but then they've asked me the same question again because they didn't understand, and I've had to explain it in another line of responding. So I do apologise if some of you are watching this and thinking, well, you just said that in a different way. So I do apologise. 5k subscribers. I'm just so overwhelmed. Thank you all so much. Also as well, thank you to those who do watch the YouTube videos. I know that some of you may not have subscribed, but a view's a view. So thank you to everyone who watches. Thank you to everybody who tunes in. And starting from next week, there will be one video from me per week, and there'll be some other uploads as well. Okay, thank you so much again. Take care of yourselves. God bless.